Joy Taylor, which play-in team do you trust the most?
Well, it is a lot of trust, isn't it?
Because they're in the play-in.
They're in the play-in. They're there for a reason. But I do think I trust the Lakers the most. LeBron James is averaging a career high in three-point percentage this season. He's actually shooting a higher percentage than Steph Curry, which is crazy to think about when you think about what a shooter Steph Curry is. Anthony Davis has played the most games that he's ever played as a Laker this season. He's been healthy
in his career.
In his career.
Not just a Laker. Ever.
All good things.
Yeah.
I know he had a back issue the other night, but it seems like that's going to be okay. They have a great record, a better record than the Warriors against playoff teams this year. They're 19-16 against playoff teams this year. I think there's a lot that you can feel confident about, but obviously I also don't like picking against LeBron James. And look, there's a lot of talent in the play-in, despite the fact that we are kind of, poo-pooing it, but it's been serious the last few years. The play-in team does not necessarily mean you're not going to see them towards the end of the playoffs, the finals or the Western Conference. Yep. So I like the Lakers. I think there are some things that they've improved on from last year. Obviously, it's not the exact same situation as it was last year to just copy and paste and say they're automatically going to be in the Western Conference Finals. I think the West is better this year, so I don't think it will be the same path. But there's a lot about the Lakers to be confident about and how they have finished the season as well.
Yeah, no, there's institutional knowledge there. If I look at those four teams, there's one team who has demonstrated that they can come out of the play-in and make a run. And I can't say that about those other teams. The Lakers demonstrated that last year. And I do think that there's something about understanding the psychology of being in the play-in and what it's like to play in this one game, this March Madness type game, and how we approach that. And if we happen to lose it, how we approach the next one. That if you haven't had success in it, it's like anything. Like when you've done it and you've done it successfully, you know what the mentality is to get it done. And the Lakers have that over all of those other teams. Aside from the fact that, I could pick apart what the Lakers are and what they've done, but they got this little mojo here at the end of the season that reminds me of the mojo that they had in the bubble and then they had when they made their run last year. It feels familiar, and I can't look at any of those other teams and go, you know what they're going through or what they've done over the last couple of weeks feels familiar to me. So it's almost by process of elimination that the Lakers are my choice.
Slick, last time you was here, you was real confident in the Warriors.
I was indeed.
And the Warriors is rolling right now. What changed?
You know what? What really changed for me was the New Orleans loss. Because that was such an important, vital game for them to change where they are. They're at home, and you couldn't get it done against the Pelicans, who I'm not, a big fan of in terms of what they have. And so when you show me, that was the type of game that the Warriors in the past, when they needed to get it, the Kings last year, backs against the wall. We need to get this game. And they weren't necessarily playing at their best, and suddenly they get it for you. That one, what gave me pause. The reason I've been big on the Warriors is because I felt like we haven't seen their best, but they have potential because of these new pieces. If Andrew Wiggins gets it together, if Jonathan Kuminga takes a step up, if Podziemski and Trace Jackson-Davis, give them a little bit more. Like if everything comes together, I can see on paper they're better than any of the other play-in teams. But it hasn't quite come together the way I thought it could.
Well, I think it is, Slick. I think it's about to come together. I'm going with the Warriors. It's just something about shooting the ball. These dudes shoot the air out of the basketball. And a lot of these dudes, I'm looking at these teams up here, they shoot it all right, but they don't shoot it like the Warriors. It's 2-point basketball versus 3-point basketball. And the last time y'all's team seen the Warriors beat them boys down. So for me, it's just when you can score and shoot the basketball the way the Warriors can and get hot, and you're talking about one game, and I know Tennessee got to win too, right? But you're talking about one game to get to that next game. I'm taking Steph Curry and these Warriors, man. And I know the last week has a couple people scared. You saying the last game against the Pelicans. But they've been on a roll, playing really good basketball over this last month, this stretch. So I'm taking the Warriors getting out of this play-in.
Warriors, Kings, Pelicans, Lakers. Team I trust the most, the 8th seed. I don't care who it is. I don't know, it can be the Lakers, it can be the Warriors, it can be the Kings. I don't care who it is. But the 7th seed is a dead team walking. Whoever has to play the Nuggets is a dead team walking. So I don't trust them at all. They have no life. They are just living to die. They are just waiting they're in hospice. It's over for them. So the 7th seed, I don't trust. I don't even care if it's the Lakers. And I love the Lakers. Of the play-in teams, I love them most. So if I were to answer the question, as I am supposed to answer the question, it would be the Lakers. I agree with Joy. I agree with James Jones. The Lakers, I trust more.
No. You agree with
Joy and I agree with Slick.
Yeah.
The Lakers are more trustworthy than the Warriors, than the Kings, and than the Pelicans. But whoever's the 8th seed, that's the team that has life. That's the team that has hope. That's the team that has a chance.
Yeah, thank you, Joy. Go ahead.
He done turned it, didn't he?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, he did. No, he skipped a step.
Conversation we pressed. That's all right. Just let the conversation
That was
we
my
pressed.
answer.
Okay,
That was
so
my
I
answer.
think there are
Hijack the show.
That was my answer.
No, I'm on no now. I'm about to be on that yes, no stuff. Yep, no.
I trust
What's
the
my
8th
answer?
seed.
No.
I trust the 8th seed. Whoever it is. Whoever it is.
I think there are certain matchups that, like the Lakers, I would give the Lakers a better chance against OKC than I would against the Nuggets. But I don't feel that way about every team.
I agree with that.
To play against OKC. I'm not just dismissing OKC. And even still, even if the Lakers didn't end up matching up with OKC, it's not guaranteed that they're going to beat them in a 4-game series. They have been a really, really good team. They are young. The place where I start to have questions about young teams is actually further along in the playoff race, like when they start to get into these matchups against more experienced teams, when they're in these incredibly tense moments. I wouldn't necessarily qualify the first round of the playoffs as a place where for a young team I would have so many questions about. I just think it's like a good matchup for the Lakers. But
Especially against a play-in team.
Correct.
right.
The disparity.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know that I feel that strongly.
I guess my thought process is I think we all up here believe the Nuggets are the best team in the West. Any objections? Any objections?
I agree.
Yes.
We all up here believe that the Nuggets are maybe a best team in basketball.
I would
Maybe.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm simply saying that whoever doesn't have to play, who we all agree is the best team in the West, and who we all agree is the best team in basketball, that's the team I have the most belief in. Whoever can avoid them. I agree with Joy. I do not think that the Warriors match up as well against OKC as the Lakers do. Yeah. I don't think that the Kings do. I just know nobody matches up
what you getting
against
at?
these Nuggets.
So you saying you hope the Lakers lose? So they ain't even in that spot?
Whatever team you are a fan of, hope you are the 8th seed. I don't care how you, by any means necessary. If you're the Warriors, obviously you can't be the 7. All you can be is the 8. If you're the Kings, all you can be is the 8. If you're the Pelicans, you can be the 7 or the 8. Whatever team you're a fan of, I don't care who it is, the 8th seed, to me, has the best chance at life.
So you saying right now the Pelicans and the Lakers are sitting at the worst spots because whoever wins that game gets the Nuggets.
Yeah, gets the Nuggets. And I just don't think I don't have enough data, and I don't think you all could show me enough data that would suggest beating the Nuggets is something realistic. I mean, our next conversation is literally, should the Lakers be nervous about facing the Nuggets? So I don't think there's any data that anyone could suggest that says, hey, we got a great shot at beating the Nuggets. So for that reason, whoever ends up at 8, I don't care who it is, no dog in the race. Whoever ends up at 8, to me, is just best off.
I guess what I struggle with is the finality of it. Like, I don't know that the Nuggets are so much better. Then I'm waiting to find out, how much can the Oklahoma City Thunder replicate what they did during the regular season in the postseason because they're so young? Minnesota Timberwolves, sort of the same question because we've never seen it. We've seen the Denver Nuggets go all the way and win it all. Do I think that they are overwhelmingly the most dominant team in basketball? No, I don't feel that way. I think that they're the best team in basketball and that it would be more difficult to beat them than it would be any of the other teams in the West. But it's not such a separation that I'm saying if you wind up in the 7th seed, you're done. And if you're in the 8th seed, you have a ticket to the second round.
Not a ticket. Definitely not a ticket. Please do not make that mistake and hear me say you have a ticket. But I guess we've all said it. I think you said it, Joy. I think you said it earlier. I'm reminded of young teams in the playoffs. I just don't fully believe in them. Remember, the Grizzlies were the 2 seed last year, if I'm not mistaken. Lakers played them early on. Grizzlies, young team in the playoffs, top 2 seed. But if you go and beat somebody, beat the young team in the playoffs. The Sacramento Kings, what were they? Maybe a 3 seed 2 years, last year, 2 years ago. If you're going to beat somebody, beat a young team. The Kings were great, but they were young. So what I'm really suggesting is just those nuggets, I don't want nothing to do. I just watched them last year, and it was just, bro, remember LeBron scored 30 and a half, and they lost. AD had 40 and 10, and they lost. It didn't matter. You could play your best. You still going to lose, which, James, I guess, leads us to that question.
Yeah, but first off, for all that to be said, the Lakers put themselves in this position. They can't lose because you don't want to go and have to play another game against the Kings or the Warriors trying to even who would they play? OKC, trying to get to play the OKC. So they put themselves in this position. So, hey, you did this to yourself.
Get yourself out of it.
What comes with it, brother.
Should the Lakers be nervous, James, about facing the Nuggets?
Yeah. Come on, man. We talking about the Denver Nuggets. We talking about the defending champs. We talking about a team that you ain't beaten, what, 8?
8 straight times.
And you talking about 30 and 1/2, 40 and 10.
Jesus.
Yes, they absolutely should be nervous. And to be honest with you, we want to be nice. They should be scared. They should be scared. I know nervous and scared is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in your locker or whatever it is, hey, you looking like that, I'm nervous. Yeah, that's because you're a little scared too. What's about to go down. So they should absolutely be scared. I mean, the Denver Nuggets is a complete basketball team. They show it night in and night out. This is a team that really nobody wants to draw and play. Not saying they cannot be beat, but we all just sat up here and agreed up here that they're the best team in basketball. Not too many teams want to play the best team in basketball, especially in the first round.
The Lakers fans will tell you that, hey, you know, we got swept, but they were all close. They were all right there, right?
Yeah.
The problem that the Denver Nuggets present to the Lakers, if we agree that Anthony Davis and LeBron James are the two most important players for the Lakers.
Of course.
Anthony Davis is at a disadvantage against Nikola Jokic. That is a riddle that he has not figured out, and you just look at the matchup and you go, Jokic can kind of get wherever he wants to, and AD is the best defender on the Lakers. So when their best player is housing your best defender, that's a little bit of debilitating, right? And then the second part is what has made LeBron James such a difficult matchup is that he's either got a physical size advantage or he's got an athletic advantage if you give him size.
Not against them.
Not against Aaron Gordon.
PJ and Gordon.
Not like, so the two pieces that are most important to the Lakers, the Nuggets go, oh, we're good. We're good. And so it's, I don't know, it's nervous, scared. It's like, where's the solution for us in beating this team? That's what the Lakers face with the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, it's a matchup issue.
Yeah.
And then when you neutralize those two, you got to have the rest of the roster step up, which Denver certainly did, outside of having to deal with their two best
And then
players.
we didn't even talk about Jamal Murray.
Right.
Correct.
We did not mention him, who they're not winning without, by the way.
Or the bench.
So it's a matchup issue for the Lakers. But to James' point, you put yourself in this position. What you don't want to do is risk losing and then not making the playoffs at all, because these are March Madness style games. Once you get to the second game, so I can't look at it and say there's no shot. Every year is a bit different. This is a new roster. We never know what's going to happen in the postseason. Obviously, knock on wood, everybody's healthy and everything goes smoothly. We know historically that is not going to be the case. So there are a million things that can happen throughout the course of a 7-game series, but you still got to win 4 of them to move on, which just feels very daunting. But that's what the Lakers are at this point. Like all of the teams that are in the play-in are in a play-in for a reason. What makes the Lakers interesting is we saw them go from the play-in to the Western Conference Finals last year. We've seen the Heat go from the play-in to the NBA Finals. So it doesn't mean as much as we think it does historically, looking at how teams have gone from the play-in throughout the playoffs. Yeah. And that kind of makes you dream a little bit. Yeah. Unless you got Denver in the first round.
Here's the hard part for me, though, because, Joy, you make a great point. There are a million things that can happen. I disagree. I think there's one thing that can happen: injury. Because of those million things that can happen, obviously it's a figure of speech, we saw nearly a million of them happen last year in their series. Yeah. Y'all must remember, we saw a variety of things occur. The Nuggets took a 23-point lead. The Lakers closed, but they couldn't overcome it. LeBron, like I said, he scored 30 and a half. Didn't help. AD had 40 and 10. I think it was game 1. Didn't matter. Jamal Murray was hot again. Jamal Murray was literally every single thing that could have happened. Lakers leading by 15, still lost. Nuggets leading by 15, still lost. Jamal doesn't score well, they win. Jamal scored. Every variation we saw occurred. To me, the only way the Lakers beat the Nuggets is if bodies, probably plural, on the Nuggets get injured. That's not something as a former athlete nor analyst that I try to suggest will happen. So I don't think there's a way.
Really quick, because we got to get the Lakers some hope, huh? Because they're going to win this thing and play Denver.
Sure.
Are they better than last year, Slick? I'm asking you, are the Lakers better than they were last year as a team?
I don't believe that they are. You don't have Jared Vanderbilt there defensively. I think they're worse on the perimeter than they were last year. And the D'Angelo Russell element is a bit of a canard.
Yep.
Because he's been great in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And he said,
play defense.
well, you got to play defense. And he said, you know what? I'm not thinking. I'm just playing. You got to think. You got to be calculated in the postseason. You just can't let it fly. You just can't let it flow. And that's why we haven't seen him always perform well in the postseason. I will say that the caveat of an injury, and with Jamal Murray having had some issues, like if you take Jamal Murray out of the equation, now it's a lot closer.
Sure.
A lot closer.
But think about what we're saying. Think about what we're saying.
No, you're
if
right.
You take their second best player away.
Assuming that there are no injuries.
Closer.
And assuming that there are no injuries, which obviously no one is predicting or hoping for in any way or speaking up. What are the options? What are the solutions?
Yeah.
What are their chances?
Correct.
Because assuming everyone's going to be there, which is the only way that we do things.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like there's much hope because the matchup just doesn't work well.
And it's not our opinion, though. What we're saying is not opinion, it's objective fact. If you lose 8 times in a row, one, there's a psychological component we can all speak to. We've all been athletes at some level on this desk. If somebody beats me 8 times in a row, even you at home, if you lose rock, paper, scissors 8 times in a row to your child or to your brother and sister, you think you finna catch an L. Lie to yourself all you want. Oh, no, they just got your number.
Yeah. But we've all been a part of upsets, too. We've all been up here a part of upsets. So what has to happen? Like, I know we talk to Lakers a lot. Austin Reeves got to show up. D'Lo got to show up. Other people. So what has to happen? Like, it's going to happen.
Now, let me take this first. I get into this argument all of the time with the person who usually sits to my right, LeSean McCoy. What makes an upset, right? We talk about this all the time. It's not luck. No, there's not luck. Like any given Sunday, any given Saturday, any given Friday, you have to have the ability to consecutively be able to beat that individual. I do not believe that the Lakers have the ability nor the roster to beat the Nuggets 4 times straight. Slick talked about it, all accentuated. MPJ and Gordon are both 6'10". Not only are they big and can shoot the tray ball, MPJ better than Gordon, they also can jump and run. Then you got Jokic. Last year, the Lakers thought they had a solution. Play Murray on him and then let AD just roam like a free safety in basketball. It didn't work. Then the Nuggets have bench. Better bench than the Lakers have bench. So there is no yes, in one game, in theory, it could happen if the Lakers shot like the Warriors shot when the Warriors played the Lakers 7 days ago. In one game, sure, it could happen. But in a 7-game series, which is the beauty of basketball, there is no reasonable route to believe that the Lakers can beat them.
Yeah, this is the heart of it for me. No, James, I'll put it to you. Like, what's the Lakers' advantage? What's the thing that either the matchup or the thing that they do?
I mean, they got arguably the greatest player ever. That's what people are arguing. Like,
No.
I truly believe the only reason.
What are you doing with they?
No, but what I'm saying.
They.
what I'm saying
We're not
is,
inviting anybody into this conversation.
I truly feel like the only reason we even giving the Lakers a chance out of the play-in is because we believe in LeBron.
And AD.
You know what I'm saying? So if we believe that LeBron and AD had the best chance to coming out of the play-in, getting to the Western Conference, they did that last year. So if we saying that can happen, I'm thinking like the only reason we giving them a chance is because they have Bron, and I don't know what can happen because Bron is one of the greatest.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.